What's up, my Central Unit? It's Central Man here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. So this time, going to review WWE Extreme Rules 2010 at the first Arena, or right now it's called the Royal Fonz Arena in Baltimore, Maryland, on the 25th of April 2010. The attendance for the show was 12,278, and the buy rates for Extreme Rules of 2010 is 182,000 pay-per-view buys. Really a downgrade from the 2009 Extreme Rules pay-per-view. I covered it on this channel because that pay-per-view got about 213,000 pay-per-view buys because they had a double main event. Edge versus Jeff Hardy in a ladders match for the World Heavyweight Championships, and Jeff Hardy defended the world title against CM Punk. This is the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania 26. This pay-per-view replaced Backlash because Backlash used to be the April pay-per-view show. After the 2009 Backlash pay-per-view, WWE decided to get rid of Backlash. Yeah, they brought it back years later in 2016, part of the second brand split. Michael Cole, Jerry the King Lawler, and Matt Striker on commentary. We started with a tag team gauntlet match. You had the unified tag team champions, Show Miz, that is The Miz and Big Show. Basically, Miz cut a promo, basically putting him and Big Show over, basically proclaiming they are the best tag team in WWE history. And then Teddy Long came out and decided to put the tag team champions in a match. This is a tag team gauntlet match. If a tag team defeat the tag team champions, they get a shot at the tag team championships on the next night on Raw. The first tag team to face Show Miz is R-Truth and John Morrison. Yeah, basically it's their rematch from WrestleMania 26. I covered WrestleMania 26 on this channel. Yeah, Show Miz, man. Not a good tag team. Basically, The Miz is a substitute to Chris Jericho. I like Jericho way better because Jericho had a better theme music. Show Miz is basically, you know, it's just so generic. When Jericho's theme music is not so generic, it's awesome. You know, Jericho's underrated in my opinion. Anyway, so yeah. The first match of the Gauntlet tag team match was basically this is way better than their match from WrestleMania between Show Miz versus R-Truth and John Morrison, but that's not saying too much. Morrison locked in like I don't know what was a submission hold. I think it is a submission hold, but it could be an armbar or a triangle hold onto the Big Show near the ropes. That caused a disqualification because Morrison did not hear the referee did the 5 count. This is way out of John Morrison's character because he's not really a submission wrestler. That's something like Del Rio used because Del Rio used the armbar. This is months before Del Rio debuted in the company. So yeah, Show Miz won the first match by disqualification. So the next tag team to face Show Miz in this tag team gauntlet match is MVP versus Mark Henry. Yeah, there's a lot of hybrid tag teams at this time. Sometimes hybrid tag teams could be good, and sometimes could be bad. Anyway, the second match is MVP and Mark Henry versus the Show Miz. They should have had this match at WrestleMania instead of Show Miz versus Truth and Morrison, because at the time, you know, Show Miz is facing really in this feud between MVP and Mark Henry. In the end, MVP was going for like a playmaker onto the Miz, but instead Big Show knocked MVP out. The Miz covered MVP, so Show Miz are 2-up. So the third and final tag team to face Show Miz are the Hart Dynasty. That is Tyson Kidd and D.H. Smith. That is short for David Hart Smith, with both Natalya and Bret Hart on ringside. In the end, it was really a quick match. Basically, the Hart Dynasty hit the Heart Attack onto the Miz to win this match. They get a shot at the tag team belt at the Raw, because the following night on Raw they had the 2010 draft. The Hart Dynasty defeated the Show Miz for the tag team championships, and then you had Big Show turn on the Miz because he got drafted to SmackDown, and it was the end of Show Miz. Yeah, at this time, then and right now, the tag team division in WWE is still bad. It's still because you got a lot of hybrid tag teams, but they're not really getting over. The only tag team at the time was the Hart Dynasty. That is Tyson Kidd and D.H. Smith. You got Usos. I covered on this channel. They're not really over yet. They get over in the next couple of years. Yeah. So yeah, the Gauntlet match was okay. It wasn't bad, but wasn't great. It was something like thumbs in the middle. This is a way to open up a pay-per-view. They should have done it later, or they should have never done the Gauntlet match. Maybe a tag team turmoil, or even a triple threat tag team match. Winner gets a shot at the tag team belts. Anyway, so the next match, we got CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio in a Hairs match. This is the rematch from WrestleMania, because if Rey Mysterio lost that match at WrestleMania, he has to join the Straight Edge Society. In the rematch, if Punk loses this match, he will get his head shaved. This was a better match. This was a fun, enjoyable match between Rey Mysterio versus CM Punk. It was really awesome to see. You got, like, in the lower portions of the match, you had Serena Deeb, basically CM Punk's valet, member of the Straight Edge Society, basically trip Rey Mysterio up. He was going for trying to hit Punk with the 619, and the referee kicked both Serena and Luke Gallows out of the match, out from ringside. It was a really fun match to watch between Mysterio and Punk. They just got really good chemistry. In the end, you got this guy in a mask basically hits Mysterio with a reverse powerbomb. I think it's called a fall-away powerbomb. Like I say, it's a reverse powerbomb. In the end, Punk hit Mysterio with the GTS to win this match. Punk is not going to get his head shaved because there was a barber chair near the stage. So yeah, this is set up the blow off to the feud between Mysterio and Punk at the following month's pay-per-view called Over the Limit. It'll be if Rey Mysterio lose, he will join the Straight Edge Society. If Punk lose, he will get his head shaved. So Mysterio won the match at Over the Limit. That means Punk gets his head shaved, and then afterwards he was wearing this type of mask, this Straight Edge Society mask that was cool. And by the way, the masked man was basically Joey Mercury. Okay, and then we got a strap match between JTG and Shad Gaspard, two former members of Crime Time. The build-up to this, actually there was not really a build-up, because you had Shad turn on JTG to really break up Crime Time. That was the biggest mistake that WWE done. Break up Crime Time, because like I said earlier, the WWE's tag team division was very bad. Yeah, you had one or two tag teams in the next couple of decades, but it's still not established tag team division. I think the last one they had was way back in the Attitude Era. Or yeah, one or two good tag teams in the Ruthless Aggression Era, but the last established tag team division they got was the Attitude Era, with Edge and Christian, the Hardys, the Dudleys, APA, Tess and Albert. Yeah, you had members of Right and Center, but it's like, like Crime Time was getting over. Before this pay-per-view, the two best tag teams were the Hart Dynasty and Crime Time. Breaking them up, it didn't do anyone favors in this match. Before or after this match between JTG and Shad Gaspard, I'm gonna be more respectful because Shad Gaspard passed away this year. Passed away in May, I think. It's just sad, like 10 years later, he's passed away, Anyway, so I'm not a big fan of strap matches, never had, because it's basically you have to touch four corners. I hate that. I like strap matches ended in a pinfall or submission. In this match, they used the whip. Shad Gaspard changed his looks. He used to wear like jeans, but instead he, ditched the jeans, wear like normal trunks, and shaved his dreadlocks and shaved his head bald. They're trying to give Shad a push, but unfortunately they completely backfired in this match. Not a good match. I was bored to sleep. It was boring in my opinion. In the end, JTG got the victory, so what's the point pushing Shad? Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to be respectful because he just passed away early this year. Really it's 2 months ago, but it's just sad to see. This was Shad's final WWE match, to be honest. He never came back. It didn't do Shad any favors. It didn't do JTG any favors, because after that, JTG was basically a jobber before he left the company. I think he left the company in 2012, 2013. It's a damn shame they never come back. I wish they brought the best time they should have brought back Crying Time was in 2016. You know, the start of the second brand split. You know, they should have brought it back in 2016. You know, they'd be good. They could be good in the SmackDown brand or even the Raw brand as a tag team. Unfortunately, it's not meant to be. Yeah, it's just I don't want to get into it, so it's just sad. You know, this is Shad. You know, he lost his final match in WWE. Yeah, he had one more match probably on Superstars before he got released, and then I don't want to get too on to his death because his dad. It's a shame because he died. He died at a very young age, early this year, at the age of 39. So anyway, so move on to the next match. The next match, we got an Extreme Rules match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jack Swagger defended the belt against Randy Orton. Jack Swagger won the briefcase at WrestleMania. Yeah, he won the Money in the Bank ladder match. Cashing his briefcase really on a SmackDown after WrestleMania onto Chris Jericho after he got tapped by Edge. Yeah, Jack Swagger's world title reign was a flop because he was booked like a loser. He was losing a lot of matches. So in this match, this was basically his best match as a world champion. After that, it went all to shit. Anyway, not the best Extreme Rules match. It was a decent match. It was a typical like what's it called, mat style wrestling. You know, typical amateur wrestling. You know, with grapplings and rest holds. The match kind of took up to the second gear with some weapons like Orton hits Swagger with the world title belt, hits his head with the trash can. He basically did multiple stunts on his head on the steel steps. In the end, Orton was going for like a RKO onto the chair on Swagger, but Swagger countered it and slammed Orton onto the chair and basically hit him with a gut-wrench powerbomb to win this match and retain the World Heavyweight Championship. And this was the only time he won clean. Basically, he won clean, but this is the only time he won. Because after, like I said, he was losing matches. I think he lost to Orton twice, the build-up to their match on this pay-per-view on a Raw. And afterwards, Orton hit Jack Swagger with the not the world title belt, hit him with the RKO outside of the ring. You know, Orton was getting over because he broke away from Legacy after WrestleMania, he broke away from Rhodes and DiBiase. So yeah, his reign was flopped because it's a damn shame how Swagger's world title reign never lasted. It never reached those heights, you know, because of the next month's pay-per-view, Over the Limit, defended the world title against the Big Show in a steel cage. And then he lost the world title belt to Rey Mysterio in a Fatal 4-Way match at Fatal 4-Way. And he lost to Mysterio in a rematch at Money in the Bank. And after that, you know, Jack Swagger never touched the world title scene ever again. Yeah, he had a brief run in 2013 feuding with Del Rio. He never done anything after that. You know, he had a run in the IC title picture at the end of 2010 and early in 2011. He didn't do nothing ever since. I think they dropped the ball on Jack Swagger, man. Anyway, so moving on to the street fights, we got Sheamus versus Triple H. Originally, this match should be the kicking off the pay-per-view, but unfortunately, you had this segment with Sheamus attack Triple H with a pipe, and then they did some update segments because of, you know, Triple H suffered like a nerve. He suffered a nerve to his arm, basically like neck problems. But Triple H managed to get out to compete in the street fight with Sheamus. This is the rematch from WrestleMania 26. I think this was a bit better than that match from WrestleMania 26. You know, it wasn't really a squash match. You know, Triple H has some offense. I think he did a DDT onto Sheamus off the floor. Like, I think they used like candlesticks, chairs. You know, this is a war between Sheamus and Triple H. You know, Triple H is still selling like an arm injury. He didn't really injure Sheamus did not injure Triple H's arm. He had sort of like nerves to the arms. You know, like that's sign of a bit of a neck injury. Sheamus, I think he kicked out multiple bro kicks. But in the end, Sheamus hit another bro kick to win this match. And then afterwards, you know, you got the medical crew and the referees trying to help Triple H. And then Sheamus hit another bro kick onto Triple H. It's basically written Triple H off the storyline. And this was basically the end of Triple H as an in-ring competitor. Because after that, I think he took some time off after that. He missed the rest of 2010. He came back in the early of 2011 to set up his match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 27. And then the night after, really the week after he returned, he got his revenge onto Sheamus, attacked him, basically pedigreed Sheamus onto the announce table. You know, basically, yeah, it's a damn shame they never did like a rubber match. You know, even if Triple H never had the bit of a tweaked neck, I think he'd probably do a blow off at Over the Limit. But unfortunately, not meant to be. I think originally it was planned to have, Triple H come back at SummerSlam to face Sheamus for the WWE Championship. This is some rumors. Unfortunately, Triple H is still recovering, so it's a damn shame they never did a rubber match. You know, could be good, but it's not meant to be. So yeah, Triple H was no longer this was basically his last year as an in-ring competitor before, it became like 2011 and beyond. He was, both a part-timer and an on-ring authority figure with the Authority, becoming the COO, feuding with have matches with CM Punk and Kevin Nash and Brock Lesnar. He was basically like, in-ring authority figure and a part-timer in both. And it's a damn shame, but it's what it is. He was getting. I think it's just basically passing the torch because he's getting old. Let's say Triple H is what he was 40 back then. He was, he's basically he can't wrestle forever, man. Anyway, so the next match, we got an extreme makeovers match. Man, this is basically a women's Extreme Rules match for the WWE Women's Championship. Michelle McCool defending the belt against the Glamazon Beth Phoenix. An extreme makeover match. What the fuck is that? This is a joke. I see better women's street fights. They're way better than this match. This was a complete comedy match. This was shit. You had a table full of makeup. I think they used like an iron board and an iron. It was so fucking ridiculous. You had basically Michelle McCool. You had Layla and Vicky Guerrero in their corner. It's fucking stupid. In the end, Beth Phoenix hits Michelle McCool with a Glam Slam to win this match and win the title. It was good moments for Beth, but yeah, this was fucking stupid. I say, the women's no DQ street fights or Extreme Rules match, whatever it's called, the way better right now than back then. They did like a fucking tables match, a comedy tables match at TLC at the end of that year with Lay Cole versus Beth Phoenix and Natalia. What? It's just dumb. And it didn't mean anything because I think a month later, Beth Phoenix suffered a knee injury. She dropped the belt to Layla. So what's really the point? Anyway, so I'm not going to get into it. So the next match, we got really a double main event. We got a steel cage match. We get Edge versus Chris Jericho. This is their rematch from WrestleMania 26. This time without the title because, like I said, Edge cost Chris Jericho the World Heavyweight title after a spear Chris Jericho. Lyles of Jack Swagger cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase to become the new World Heavyweight Champion. They're still building up to Edge, Achilles tendon injury. Basically, like, the build-up to this, basically Jericho re-injured, basically the Achilles tendon of Edge. Not really, because otherwise he'll be out for another long period of time. He's basically trying to injure the ankle of Edge. Like, basically on the go-home show to SmackDown, basically Edge trying to trap Wade Barrett, Chris Jericho's rookie from NXT at the time, because at the time NXT was doing a game show version before the NXT you see right now. Anyway, this was a fun steel cage match, not a classic. It took a little time, to be honest. It took about 20 minutes. Jericho thought he's won, but he trying to get out the cage by the door. He decides to end Edge's career. I don't think he worked on Edge's ankle throughout the match. I think he did it once or twice, but it kind of threw away the storyline. Anyway, so I think Jericho kicked out of the spear. Edge kicked out a super code breaker by Chris Jericho. I think on two separate occasions. In the end, Edge worked on the leg of Chris Jericho, trying to get the revenge on Jericho because throughout the spring spring of 2010, the March and April period of 2010, Jericho was working on the injured leg of Edge. In the end, he hit Jericho with another spear to win this match. No Wade Barrett on the show because at the time it's still going, the first season of NXT. I thought Barrett will be interfere in this match and help Jericho win or cost Jericho the match. Unfortunately, he's a no-show. Don't worry, Barrett came back, to form the Nexus, So yeah, Edge won the feud. I don't think they did a rubber match. They did. The first match was at WrestleMania. The second match at Extreme Rules. They should have done the rubber match at Over the Limit. Unfortunately, they both drafted to Raw. Why could you have done the rubber match instead? Jericho was in the tag team match with The Miz versus the Hart Dynasty, and Edge was in this feud with Randy Orton. So they should have done a rubber match. So anyway, I'm not going to go into it. So moving on to the main event. The main event, we got a last man standing match for the WWE Championship. John Cena defended the belt against Batista. Another WrestleMania 26 rematch. Cena defeat Batista at WrestleMania. Making Batista tapped out with the STF to win the belt for, I think it's a 8th time, I think. This was a decent last man standing match, but this is dragged too. It was a bit boring in my opinion, but it's still a good match. There's one funny moment of the match. Basically, there's a little fan shout at Batista, "I hate you, Batista," and then Batista say, "I hate you too." This was awesome. Cena basically hits Batista twice with an AA onto the chair, onto the announce table. Batista hits I think he spear Cena through a table. He spinebuster Cena through another table. Cena locked the STF onto Batista, make Batista passed out. In the end, Cena taped Batista's legs. Basically, he grabbed Batista's legs into the ring post. He basically duct taped Batista's leg onto the ring post. Some people complain about it. I don't want to go into it. This is basically gone out, really way out of John Cena's character, because Cena is Mr. Was it hustle, loyalty, respect? He never give up. He wants to win it without any controversy. But it was a bit creative. It led to Batista next night on Raw shouting like, "Duct tape! This is not the way to win a championship match." And yeah, but Cena won this match. This is set up the rubber match at I Quit match at Over the Limit. That was a boring match. I don't want to go into the 2010 Over the Limit pay-per-view anytime in the near future. I might cover it in the near future, but not right now because that was boring. But the last man standing match, it was a bit boring, but it was a good match. Not the best last man standing match in WWE history or even pro wrestling history. It told a good story. It was physical. So moving on to my final thoughts. So my final rating for WWE Extreme Rules 2010, my final rating for it, I give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's a downgrade from the 2009 show, because the 2009 show you had Rey Mysterio versus Jericho, Orton versus Batista, the ladder match between Edge versus Jeff Hardy, the Fatal 4-Way for the United States title. And you got some crap on the show. Basically, you had Big Show, John Cena, the hog pen match between Santina Marella, Chavo, and Vicky. But this what you had. Like I said, you still got some good matches on the show. You had Jericho, Edge in the steel cage match, the Last Man Standing match, Swagger versus Orton, Punk versus Mysterio, and Triple H and Sheamus. That was a good match. Not the best street match, but it told a good story. It's the way to written off Triple H off the storylines. 5 good matches. The only one in the middle has to be the opener between the tag team gauntlet match. Like I say, it wasn't bad. Wasn't like a great, but it was okay. It told a good story. Has a surface purpose. Find who's the number 1 contender for the Unified Tag Team Championships. The two bad matches on the show has to be the strap match between JTG versus Crime Time. It's a horrible mistake to break up Crime Time. It's like I say, it's a damn shame. Right now in present day, we're not gonna see Shad ever again. But it was a waste of time pushing Shad because they never do anything after that. The strap match was boring, and the Extreme makeup really is a no DQ match between Michelle McCool versus Beth Phoenix. That was shit. Just killing time because the crowd completely died in this match. You know, it's more a piss break match, so. That's the only 2 matches on the show you got avoid of all time if you watch this on the network. So that's my review of WWE Extreme Rules 2010. Hope you like it. Leave your thoughts, comment section below, smash the like button, and subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Next time, oh boy, let me think. It's, you know, SummerSlam's next month. I'm gonna get one more pay-per-view before we get to the SummerSlam season. How about Taboo Tuesday? Yeah. Next time I'm gonna review is gonna be Taboo Tuesday 2004. This is the Central Man officially signing out. Check you later.